the segment where we each like to pull out some items. Normally we have like a theme, but I don't know. I figured today might be kind of fun just for us to, I don't know, go rando, just pick out random items. But yeah, we pick out items from our collection and just talk about what it means to us, why we like it, why we have it. I don't know who wants to jump in the pool, dip their toes in.
I will go last.
You'll go last.
I'll let you guys go first. Yeah.
I'll go first. How about that? Because mine's simple. So I guess this is kind of a spoiler for an event that happened that we'll talk about in a second. But I picked some items that are very simple, but I don't know. I really enjoyed. So this is all 3 Fable games. Yay!
Hey.
Super simple. I don't know. I like the Fable series, and possibly there may be a new Fable game that got announced at one of these events.
I don't know why you're acting like a surprise. I'm sure people know what's coming up.
Yeah.
Which is your favorite Fable game, just out of curiosity?
By far 2. I think 2 is by far the best one. Actually, I hate to say it, my least favorite is probably 1. Like, I like 1, but I don't know. I feel like 1 is one of those type of games where, like, it was fun, but it was very... I just feel like the sequels did a much better job of kind of building on the foundation of what that game had. Like, I guess it kind of reminds me of, like, something like Assassin's Creed, where, like, the first game wasn't that great, but then when they got to Assassin's Creed's, like, 2 and Revelations and stuff, you're like, oh, wow, they're doing so much. But yeah, I feel like Fable 2 by far is the best one to me. Fable 1 was a cool new idea, new thing they had going on. And 3 I feel like was better than most people say. I don't remember like loving it as much as 2, but I remember being like, that game had a weird dialogue around it. I remember a lot of people hated it, and I feel like
people didn't like the king thing at the end, where you were like, it was like 2 different games. Like you played 70% of the game like a normal Fable game, which I think most people were cool with, and the last like third or however much, you were the king making a bunch of decisions, prepping for the end boss guy coming. But I liked it. I thought it was fine. There was enough regular Fable goodness in there that didn't turn me off. But
I totally forgot. I have the Fable Collector's Edition somewhere. Fable 3 Collector's. I don't know what I did with it, but yeah, Fable. That's the best one, in my opinion. Fable 2 was a good time, man. Like, you got your pupper's friend walking around. He digs finds all your treasures. And which one was the one that got crazy with farting on things? Was that 3? Or
I think you could do it in 2. I mean, I think 3 probably took it to another level, but 2 was pretty raunchy.
I feel like that's why I liked 2. Is like 2 had the.
It was farcical.
It was farcical, but 3 I feel like went a little overboard, and 2 at least kind of. It had the jokey, but I don't know, maybe it's a little more serious, I feel like.
I'm curious how going back and playing something like Fable 2 would be now, because at the time, I mean, it was fairly like early on in the Xbox 360's life cycle. You didn't have these big, like, all the same big expansive open world fantasy RPGs like you have now. Like, I don't think Skyrim was out at the time, so
might have been like Oblivion. That's probably around the Oblivion times.
I know Oblivion was out, so just I don't know. I'm curious how well it would play going back now, because it's a more streamlined experience. But
a game like that's around like the time Cameo. Remember Cameo?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
Like those odd like early fantasy games for the 360. But yeah, like I said, cool. I like having all my Fables. Isn't there...
Yep.
I just thought about it, but isn't there... I need to get it. Isn't there a Fable...
Connect game? Or you're talking about the anniversary?
The anniversary. I don't think I have that. I think I need to get that
there's
physical.
a Fable 1 anniversary for 360.
That's what I'm missing. Okay, I need to get that. Alright, so, I don't know, Gamer, you want to take it away?
Oh, it was hard for me to find anything. So... not because I was trying to find something particular, but I still have stuff in boxes, as you can see already. I still got stuff in boxes. So like I ended up, my wife actually pulled out something the other day from one of the boxes, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I forgot that she had it, and I remember buying this for her many moons ago, because we're going towards the Final Fantasy type. I was trying to get my, Final Fantasy 14, but I can't find it. So I went with this guy, and I thought this was kind of cool. So the little PSP box.
Okay.
Oh, that is cool.
So this thing has like the bumpy front and stuff, which I thought was really neat.
kind of embossed.
Yeah, and it's freaking pretty awesome. Like,
Is it just a white PSP, or does it have like a printing on it?
I wish it had a printing. These jerks, they could have done They could have added like, for like 20 cents, they could have added an extra something in the back, and they did not.
I actually think
they cheaped out on it.
They get stingy on those PSP special editions. Like, they have a few, like there's the Kratos one that has like part of his face on the back, and you have like a Darth Vader one that's kind of similar, but super subtle. Or they just give you like, here's a red PSP, here's a blue PSP.
It's so dumb. But this one did come with, funny enough, I never used
Jazz broke the stream.
What did I just do?
Came with a pair of headphones.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Hey, you can kind of see my head in like 3 places.
How do I?
Oh my god.
Yeah, we are professional.
Oh my gosh, really?
Did you kill your screen stream? You probably dropped a monitor.
This is great.
So inbox.
Technical
It exited out of grid mode for some reason. Okay.
Grid mode.
Everyone's seeing how the sausage is made.
No one wants to see your sausage, bro.
No one wants to see your sausage, dude. So
this
thing came
down
with
in the comments. Let me know.
Came with little headphones, so that was cool.
So did they only give the white PSP with that edition? Because I have a white PSP, and
it's not white. It's actually silver.
I have one. I don't know if it's white or silver.
They used like for a lot of their special editions, like a couple of them had.
So there were a couple silver. Okay.
Oh, so you just got the game in a little square paper deal. They didn't do, like,
little square
game.
No. So the game is actually in here, which is hilarious. I was looking at it earlier, and I was like, "Oh, cool." Stupid PSPs.
Good old UMDs.
Yeah, little UMDs.
I'm actually annoyed. Cool. I didn't realize it because I started going through like some of my binders with my PSP games. I have a crap ton of loose UMD games. Like, I have like a whole stack, and I'm just like, I need to find a way to display those that look better. They're just like sitting in a big stack on one of my shelves.
It's hard. You kind of got to get like a case for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's cool though. I didn't know they even had like a Kingdom Hearts PSP. So nice.
Yeah, it's she had the box there. I was like, oh, cool. Let me put this in my collection. I just decided to put it there.
I don't have a single working PSP. I've got like 4 or 5, and they all have like dead batteries. I need to go on Amazon and buy a bunch of those.
Yeah, the battery's the biggest problem. I think almost all my original ones have all swollen and almost exploded. But you can get, replacement ones for like $10 on Amazon. They're not OEM ones, but whatever.
Yep.
Cool.
All
right, Phoenix.
All right, so is it me?
Yeah, let me see if I can switch over to you without ruining things again.
That's not me.
Hey, hi.
All right, so
you're very pixelated again, so it probably is your connection. On my end, you're very pixelated.
You're pixelated on my end. Serrano's not, which makes me think it's your end.
It's the same thing on my end. Oh well, don't blame me.
Either way.
It's not my fault.
All right, so as I said, I went to Seattle last week, and I putzed around, and I went to every Pink Gorilla games in town. Got my Pink Gorilla shirt on.
Yay! Nice. Where's mine?
And for those of you who don't know, it's here. When I told you, when you want to come pick it up, I got it. But for those who don't know, it's just a local Seattle game store that kind of got made famous by Metal Jesus and some of his tour videos with Kelsey and whatnot. I did end up seeing Cody in one of the stores
cool.
Towards the end of it, one of the owners. I didn't say anything. I was like, I think that's him, and I noticed after the fact. So, but yeah, they got 3 locations. Some were in some sketchy areas. One's in Japantown, which I didn't even know there was a Japantown in Seattle, so that was pretty cool. But anyway, went around, found some stuff. What I like about them that I don't get like any here is they have a bunch of import games. And I'm not big on import games just because to play them, it's a bit of a ask sometimes to have the right system and whatnot. But I'll tell you, import games, typically their box art so much better than what we get over here in the States. So I picked up a couple of games for myself. The first one I came across, which I think you guys saw was a Mario Party
Mario
Dos.
Party 2. Nice.
Yeah.
Like you filthy,
They had a Mario.
filthy Americans. I said, you filthy Americans, you get the dumb looking one.
I like how pink.
I loved how pink it was. That's why I got it.
I love how
Pink
it is.
Gorilla
Pink
to seem to
Gorilla.
make sense. They had Mario Party 3 there in the box too. They didn't have 1, otherwise I probably would have got that. And they had all the GameCube ones. I almost bought them all because they were like $10, $12. But
I didn't realize, is that 64 boxes in Japan? They didn't get the elongated ones like we had?
no, I mean they're probably technically the same size,
Oh.
Just
they go
upwards.
vertical.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's complete, as I think it was. So the cartridge is like beautiful and minty and also pink, which is great. The nice thing about the N64 games is you can actually get those to play relatively easily on a US machine. I think you just have to break off a tab or something, or get a little adapter, and it's easy enough. But yeah, it's got all the books and all the good stuff, all in Japanese, of course. So I'll never be able to understand it. And then I also picked up, and this is actually probably my favorite, Super Mario World, or I should say Super Mario Brothers 4 in Japan.
Yeah,
so,
buddy.
Yeah, I just love.
That's
I think what's
pretty
cool is like
relevant.
it's so hard to get an American version of this game because the only ways you could get Mario World was either packed in with the system, which everybody got, so you didn't get a box with it, or they did have a separate retail release afterwards, but because everybody bought the game with the system, no one ever bought the full retail version. So finding it now in the box, like for the US version, it's like $200, $300, $400. It's like, I don't know, it keeps going up all the time. So
I've heard
that was complete.
I've heard in Japan, if you go straight there, you can get games like dirt cheap like that.
And these were super cheap. Like,
Yeah.
that's the nice thing about it. This was sub $20, $30. Same thing with Mario Party. So they had all the Mario Parties pretty much, except for one, all the way up through, Mario Party 7. I almost bought them all, because they had, like, the cute little GameCube tiny cases. The only reason I didn't is I already have all the GameCube Mario Parties, and the box art is technically the same on them, so they felt a little less special. But the N64 ones I thought were cool. Now, that's what I got for myself. I did get you guys some things, and I was going to wait till you guys got them, but I'm going to go ahead and just give you the reveal on it now, because I'm selfish and I want to see your reaction.
You bought me something?
I did. So,
is it Burger King?
There were a couple of things.
Sneak King Japanese version?
It is. Let's see if it's going to show up.
Ooh,
if it's going to show up.
DBZ game.
Yeah, let me switch over to this other camera. I think the lighting's a little better on it.
Ooh, look at that.
Ooh, that's pretty.
So they actually had like 3 or 4 of these. This is the 3rd Dragon Ball Z game on the what system is it, Chaz? Can you do it?
What, Famicom? Or Super?
Oh,
is it
no.
Super Famicom?
Super Famicom, yeah. So
I love
Super
that
Nintendo
somebody's
essentially.
name is written on there in Japanese.
Yeah, I like that too. So yeah, I got this one because it's Boo, and Boo reminds me of you. So
He gets thin.
So-
He gets thinner.
and then Metal. This to kind of go with our Final Fantasy, or I know your love for Final Fantasy.
Ooh.
Chocobo Mystery Dungeon.
Ooh, is that for like PlayStation? Yes, it is.
PS1.
Yeah,
It doesn't
buddy.
have the manual, which is a little sad, but
Oh, that is
who
it's got
cares?
both discs in it.
it has,
Have you ever seen any footage of this game?
no, I haven't actually.
I watched a couple of minutes on YouTube. It's odd. It's kind of like a dungeon crawler-ish thing, but you're a chocobo with a Moogle sidekick. It's kind of awesome.
That's weird. Oh,
Yeah, so I don't know how much-
that's killer.
Yeah, I don't know how much luck you're gonna have playing it on any of your systems, but you can probably emulate it or something. So there you go.
Yeah.
Whenever I see you guys next, you got a couple of goodies from Seattle. So
Hell
thanks,
yeah.
Pink Gorilla. Appreciate your cool. The stores are actually really cool. Like the one on what is it? The Capitol Hill district is probably one of their better ones. I don't know. It had like all the giant Pikachu statue from the YouTube vids and all that. So it was a fun experience.
Very neat. Exciting.
Interesting. Sorry, I was trying to.
Jazz broke. Everybody has to look at me for a few more minutes.
He's
No.
looking at IGN, trying to see
No,
if
I
he
was
could
pulling
find any
up-
juicy gossip.
I was pulling up the Chocobo Dungeon gameplay and my stream.
Oh,
it must be my
I picked up
internet.
another game too. I don't remember where it is. Oh, I got a just straight up Dragon Ball game for the Famicom.
We go
But
down
it's
to
somewhere on my
4.
shelf. I'm not gonna grab it right now.
That's awesome.
Okay, YouTube just
I,
doesn't
I
want to
would
work.
I would probably go to town too. Like I would go to town just buying games and.
Dude, because the import stuff is so cheap. I mean, most games are like under $10. It was so hard for me not to leave without, I don't know, walking out with like $300 worth of import games.
Yeah,
it's a straight little dungeon crawler as a chocobo.
Yeah, that's cool. I think for the next one, for my Hoard, I'll show you something that I picked up at a local store here. It's a 3DS Japanese title. I had to like mod my 3DS in order to play it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one thing I like about the Switch is that it's region free. So if you do end up with any like, you know, Japanese copies or PAL or whatever, you can just play them outright, which is nice. Region locking at this point is dumb. So I'm glad that that's not as much of a thing anymore.